Hey, how's everybody doing today? Clint, the audio slash photo guy here. I just want to do another unboxing for you. For me, actually, but I bought another used lens for the Fuji GFX system, so I want to unbox it on camera so that if there's any issues with it, this gets captured, because you don't know what people are going to send you sometimes. So anyway, this one came from California, and this is the one lens I really haven't had yet for the GFX system. I built my landscape kit, and but I left out any portrait lenses, so I don't have any very fast aperture lenses. So I got one. There we go. Kind of thinly packed. Just one layer of wrap, but box showed up in good shape, so no problems there. So this is the GF110 f2 RLMWR lens. So this is the, as Fuji called it, they said this is the best lens. So this is the one lens that they set out to build a no compromise design on, and this is what they came up with. So ideally for portraits, but you can use it for any short telephoto purposes you might have, which actually 50% of the time that's what I'm actually not gonna be using it for portraits. Half the time I will be, hopefully. But what I wanted, it's an interesting box here. What I wanted was a lens that I could shoot stitched panoramas with and do some really high resolution stuff, cityscapes and stuff. I know this is probably cropped short here, but and I wanted the best possible lens to do that with, one that can hold just exceptional pin sharp detail, because no sense in stitching images if the lens is a little bit soft. But I want to take full advantage of the medium format sensor. So I thought it was between this one or the 250mm, the GF250, but I tend to think that that one is too narrow of an angle of view for me, and it's bigger, heavier, but the angle of view is even narrower, so it would be less useful for me for portraits because that's a very long focal length. But the angle of view is so narrow, if I'm doing stitched panoramas, I'd have to take so many photos to get the whole scene in. It would just be too many. And when clouds move while you're doing your shooting, the stitching doesn't line up and stuff. So I wanted a lens that I could take a handful of images and not have to take 20 images. Anyway, okay, let's get this unwrapped. Well, the hood is very dusty. There wasn't a lot of description on this one, so I was just kind of taking a chance. Lens cap is loose. Because the auction was ending in 6 minutes, I didn't think if I'd ask a question that it would get replied to before I even started bidding. So I'm just gonna shove this over here. So the lens is pretty heavy, 2.22 pounds. Okay. See what we got here. As goes with a lot of these, they look completely unused, which is great for people like me because then I come along and buy it and save a bunch of money. I treat camera equipment now like a business, and I have to. You know, earlier in my photography, I wanted the new shiny thing always, and then I would just lose money when I would sell it. And lenses used to hold their value a lot better, I think, than they do now. You could almost get your money, you know, 90% of it back out of it. And now they lose, you know, 40%, it seems sometimes, between 20 and 40%, let's say. So it's a good chunk. And when you're spending, this lens is $2,800. When you're spending that kind of money, if you can buy used and in mint condition, that's my goal, then you're better off. So let's see. Aperture ring is smooth. This lens has 14 elements. They're spherical elements. There's no aspherical elements. So when I think their goal in creating the ultimate portrait lens, they didn't want any artifacts in the out of focus elements, in the bokeh balls, and they didn't want any artifacts in the bright highlights. And aspherical elements, while they can give you the ultimate in sharpness to the edges, the out of focus bits can get a little bit of artifacting. So this is a purely spherical design, and one that from all the samples I've seen, it looks razor sharp at f2. So, you know, all the old portrait lenses I used to get, like the Nikkor 135 f2 or the 105 f2, those were the creamiest, dreamiest portrait lenses you can get back in the day, 15 years ago. I had both of them, and even though they were f2 lenses, you really didn't want to use them at f2 because they had chromatic aberration. If you had tree branches in the background, there was going to be purple fringing all around them. They weren't just tack sharp until you got to f2.8 or f4. But this lens, from everything I've seen, it's an apochromatic design essentially, so no chromatic aberration, and it's sharp at f2, wide open, so you can get the aperture that you paid for, let's say. Anyway, this one came with a B&W filter. I saw that in the listing, so I was hoping that he had the filter on the whole time so that the front element didn't get any scratches. I don't use filters myself. I use the lens hood. Well, I should say I use filters very seldomly. I don't use them for protection. I'll use a polarizer or a neutral density if the situation calls for it, but yep, flawless front element, just as I was hoping. This is a B&W clear multi-resistant coating nano. So this is a really good filter. These are on the pricey side, I know. I haven't priced clear filters out in ages, but I know that's one of the more expensive ones. It's pretty thin too. So if I wanted to and had a 77mm filter thread, it is 77, so I do have a polarizer already, nice expensive one. So I'm glad that I can still use that on this lens. I think what I'm going to have to get is a neutral density because photographing at f2 for portraits, like outside on a sunny beach and stuff, I want to do some more fashion photography this year. I have a woman lined up, let's say, that is will be perfect for it. So I might be doing some neutral density because the shutter speeds will just be so high. I don't know if the flash will be able to be used. Anyway, I gotta figure that out. Outdoor strobing isn't my specialty, but some people online are teaching me some stuff. So let's look at the back. Rear glass is perfect. And I did take a look, which is what I always do when I look for a used lens. I always take a look at the picture of the mount because the chrome on the mount will show some wear pretty quickly. And this one looked like it had just about never been mounted to a camera. And the next thing on the GFX lenses I look at is this little strip of contacts, because that's like a soft copper. And when the pins slide across it, they almost immediately make a mark. But you can kind of tell a little bit by how deep the mark is, with how many times it's been mounted on and off of a camera. This one looks flawless, looks unused. The lens is a little scratched up. It's okay, at least, or the lens cap, I should say, that's okay, because it probably just got set down like that. Much better being set down like that, as I've stated in other videos. People take their bottom cap off and they set their lens down on like a concrete wall. Don't do that. Don't do that. You got a highly polished mount surface here, and your contacts and your rear glass lens element. Just, if you gotta set it down, put the cap on, please. Anyway, the hood is dusty. There's a couple little abrasion marks on it, very light. So no big deal there. That's just from handling. I much prefer the marks on the hood than on the lens itself. But because of those little marks and the lens cap marks, I saved $1,080 or $1,060. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll take it. This way, if I decide portraits aren't my thing, because every time I bought a high-end portrait lens, it got very little use, and then I sold it and I lost like $1,000. So I'm just I'm letting somebody else take that hit. Anyway, if I have some zoom lenses for landscapes. Just kind of rambling again here. And my bag's pretty heavy because I got the 45 to 100, which is about as heavy as this, about a kilo, maybe a little heavier even. I have the 100 to 200 millimeter. I have the 30 millimeter. So I carry those three lenses for landscapes. But I thought it would be cool to have like a pared down 2-lens prime setup as well. So I have the 45, and now I have the 110. Let's see how it focuses. So the LM designation on this is the linear motor. It is weather sealed, of course. Oh, lens cap, dope. Got it on manual, so I'm way overexposed. Okay, there we go. Nice. It works. I don't have a memory card in it, but focuses, everything works. I'm going to check the firmware. because I noticed there is a firmware that came out in 2023, so I'm not sure if the previous owner got around to updating it or not. So I'll do that tonight. I updated the camera body today. Still the GFX 50 S2. I'm just so impressed with the image files that come out of this thing. I don't know that the 100 megapixels is going to give me anything more. It sounds crazy to say. I know the focusing is better, and they have that new 100 megapixel now where the focus is even improved more, and it's got the faster processor and stuff. That body is $7,500, and I shoot mostly non-moving inanimate objects, so we'll see. I heard rumors of Fuji coming out with a GFX 100S2. That's pretty exciting. And CES is going on right now. Actually, last day was yesterday. And I can't find anything about it being released, so we'll see. That one's probably right in my wheelhouse, because I don't think I need the full capability of the GFX 100 too. The video features and stuff, I really don't need 8K video. I'm a primarily stills photographer and this kind of stuff, but that camera works great for this. So anyway, yeah, 14 elements, 4 ED elements, extra low dispersion glass, no aspherical elements, the creamiest bokeh. I will have pictures for you soon of basically a model who's gonna look great with this lens. So I got some ideas. So so that's that. I'm happy that showed up in pretty good shape. I'm gonna update the firmware as I did on my 45 to 100 and my 100 to 200. Also my XT3, which you're seeing this through, and my 16 to 55. These firmwares come out fixing bugs and improving features and making things focus smoother, and I forget about it, and then I look and I'm like 5 firmware updates behind. So every once in a while I got to go back and see what I'm missing, you know, because I really don't notice any bugs. I'm not a power user where I'm gonna run into bugs with, you know, odd features that much. So anyway, that's my new 110. I'm anxious to get to using it and report back on how it performs. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.